Okay, the November 9th meeting of the Greenwich Township Land Use Board is called to order.
This is the regular meeting of the Land Use Board of the Township of Greenwich. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, in that a notice was published in the Express Times and Star Ledger newspapers. The notice was posted on the municipal bulletin board in the Township Administration Building in Greenwich Township, New Jersey, and notice was filed with the Township Clerk.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bruce Williams.
Here.
Mr. Mark Scuderi asked to be excused tonight
And recused.
and recused from the discussion about the cannabis ordinance. Mr. Paul Beam,
Here.
Mr. Joseph Chicallo,
Here.
Mr. Brian Baylor,
Here.
Ms. Kathy Cullen asked to be excused tonight, Mr. Gary Hill asked to be excused tonight, Mr. Joseph Fiamma,
Here.
Mr. Jeremy Blunt asked to be excused tonight, Ms. Andrea Sherlaw asked to be excused tonight, Mr. Rocky Stein,
Not here.
Mr. George Bradlaugh,
Here.
Ms. Dana Parker,
Not here.
Board Attorney, Mr. John Drill,
Here.
Board Engineer, Mr. Mike Finelli,
Here.
and Board Planner, Ms. Kendra Lely is
Asked to be
excused tonight as
excused,
well.
Okay, so we need a motion to excuse Kathy Cullen, Gary Hill, Mark Scuderi, Jeremy Blunt, and Andrea Fairlaw. Joe.
Joe Fiamma,
Jana and.
The two Joes.
The two Joes.
Joe squared. Okay, Mr. Bruce Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Paul Beam.
Yes.
Mr. Joseph Chicallo,
Yes.
Mr. Brian Baylor.
Yes.
Mr. Joe Fiamma,
Yes.
and Mr. George Bradlaugh.
Yes.
Yeah, to rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, for those of you who may have been here for the public hearing on is it the D4?
Yeah, D4.
D4 possible application or the conceptual plan. We received an email from the applicant saying that with the recent passage of ordinance 113-23, our team will not be attending November's meeting. Please remove us from the agenda. So that doesn't say they'll never be back. It says what it says.
What's the date on that email for the record?
The email is dated November 6th. From Nicholas De Polera. Okay. With that, our first order of business is approval of the minutes from the October 12th meeting. That was last month.
That was last month. All right.
Any comments, corrections? If not, I'll entertain someone want to a vote to approve. Motion to approve. That was a word.
Motion was the word.
Motion.
You ever heard that one before, Mr. Chairman?
Motion. So Joe Fiamma and the other Joe.
Joe
Squared
and Joe squared again. Mr. Mark Scary is absent. Mr. Paul Beam,
Yes.
Mr. Joseph Chicallo,
Yes.
Mr. Brian Baylor,
Yes.
Ms. Kathy Cullen is absent. Mr. Joseph Fiamma,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Hill is absent. Ms. Andrea Sherlaw is absent. Mr. George Bradlaugh.
Yes.
Okay, next order of business is adoption of resolution 2023-04 Metrotech Electrical Services Company. John, any discussion on that from you?
Now, this is the fourth draft. The applicant has reviewed it, satisfied with everything. The board professionals have reviewed it, satisfied with everything. Obviously, it got to a fourth draft because it had comments before this fourth draft. And this fourth draft is dated October 30th, 2023, and it's in order to be adopted.
Any questions or comments from board members? And I'll entertain motion to adopt the resolution 2023-04.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Paul,
Who made who made the motion?
Paul did not vote on that.
Right. The only people eligible to vote on this are Williams, Scudera, Chicello, Cullen, Fiamma, Hill, and Parker, and some of those are absent. So we need one of those people to make the motion and one of those people to second it.
all right, I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 2023-04.
I'll second.
And Joe. Okay, Mr. Bruce Williams,
Yes,
Mr. Mark Scary is absent, Mr. Joseph Chapello,
Yes.
Ms. Kathy Cullen is absent, Mr. Joseph Fiamma,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Hill is absent, Ms. Dana Parker is absent.
Okay.
okay. And question, Mike, have you been working with them on,
I didn't want to interrupt during the discussion on the resolution, but I was just going to add, perfect timing. I have been in contact with the applicant, most recently, actually this afternoon. They wanted to make sure they knew how to proceed. They're not land use people or developers by trade. So we had a very nice, productive discussion. He's also been in contact with Kendra regarding landscaping. That'll probably be the last thing. The way it looks now, he was hoping he'd have it done, but it's probably not gonna be finished, the landscaping anyway, till the spring. He took out the fence, the old fence. He's looking to put in the new fence. That was really where his first, his priority is. I gave him the go ahead to just put the fence in. I don't think we have to be that involved with the installation of the fence. Then we're gonna have a pre-construction meeting. He's gonna be submitting compliance plans. We'll have a pre-construction meeting. And then probably in December, he'll get out there and get started. That's
And
the
Mike,
way-
just make sure when you look at that fence, one of the conditions that the board wanted, it's supposed to be a black, vinyl coated chain link fence.
Wouldn't miss that, John, for the world. Don't you
Okay.
worry.
I noticed that they did recently turn off the floodlights there. The low ones.
Oh, okay, well, you go past there. I don't,
Yeah.
so I don't really. go
But
past there
one
all.
question I had for you was, they also, the kind of storage lot that's actually in the RCD zone, they've completely covered that in gravel.
Oh. That, and wasn't there gravel?
Well, there was
down?
gravel already there. I thought they had
I think,
secured permission to do some land leveling and some gravel.
Wasn't that the case of one of the prior car dealers? Made it gravel, but now there's,
Vinart was looking at doing something with it, but they never went ahead with their site plan. So there was never any approval for it.
That's
And so-
correct. Bruce is absolutely correct.
well, we'll take a look at what they did.
So
Okay.
I guess my question is, gravel impervious or not?
That's an interesting question, because if you're talking about Highlands impervious, it's considered pervious. If you're talking stormwater management impervious or pervious, it's impervious. Don't ask me why the state did it that way, but that's the way to do it, so.
Well, you might.
Does that answer your question or
It
confuse you?
makes perfectly sense for what they want to do with it, that they put gravel there, but there's gravel there, a lot of it.
We're, okay, understood, note made, and we'll certainly deal with that in due course.
Okay, next order of business, since we don't have the public hearing, is the ordinance 114/2023, which is a consistency review. In your package, you should have a memo from Kendra Lealy discussing her thoughts on the matter. She couldn't be with us tonight because of some family issues. So the letter from KMA. So basically, in short, she's decided, she has recommended that we deem it not inconsistent with the master plan and that it is in line with the goals of the master plan. Establishing zoning standards that will limit the impact of new development on existing neighborhoods and developed areas, and to provide for limited non-residential growth to address the imbalance between residential and non-residential employment generating land use, which is disproportionately weighted by residential development. Any thoughts, questions, discussions? Not that I could add much to it.
So Bruce, just to confirm the ultimate simplicity of Leland's statement. For all the jargony sentence there, it's not inconsistent.
Right, because basically there's nothing in the master plan dealing with a cannabis, but there's nothing, but it's not inconsistent with
The
anything that's there.
licensed business, whatever.
Yeah. All right, so
Where does the township stand on this? Wasn't there an ordinance a year and a half ago?
Yeah, we did an ordinance to pretty much prohibit any type of cannabis, be it sales, manufacturing, or distribution. Which at the time was recommended to do, because if you didn't do it, there was something about a
yeah,
5-year
if you didn't do it
term
within,
that we couldn't do it. So we did it, but we could revoke any portion of that at any given time, which is what we're now doing on the commissary.
Well, it's understandable, we're allowing a retail.
A retailing and distribute, yeah, right, yes.
Okay.
this allows a single
And
retail
what, in the township?
in the township.
Yes,
In the township and only right there,
and only in one spot.
in that one spot.
Right where? Where is it?
In the, up by the Chamois Shine, in the area of need of redevelopment.
And off of West Avenue,
Okay.
down from the antique store.
I remember at the time arguing that we should allow it for agriculture, for our farmers.
Well,
That's not considered at this.
No, that's not a part of it, right?
no, but if you recall, the reason for doing it is when New Jersey passed the law, if the township didn't do something to prohibit it
Right.
within 180 days of when the law passed, then basically it was the wild, wild west. You couldn't do anything to prohibit it.
For 5 years, okay.
So we prohibited it, and now we're selectively agreeing to what we want to allow.
Our job is consistency, not inconsistency. The town board
Yeah, that,
ultimately decides
yep,
legally and otherwise whether we accept it as a
right.
community.
Right, but the board, the TC likes to. The land use board to go through and review it
So
too,
we have our part of it, then they have to
Correct.
fine tune.
right, because if you all of a sudden had a problem with it,
Yeah.
then the town's gonna have a problem with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay.
So, what we need now is a motion to deem, ordinance 114-23, not inconsistent with the master plan.
I'll move that.
Good. George
Second,
and Paul.
And I'll go on record as saying I'll probably never buy anything now.
Mr. Bruce Williams,
Yes,
Mr. Paul Beam,
yes,
Mr. Joseph Chicallo,
Yes.
Mr. Brian Baylor.
Yeah.
Mr. Joseph Fiamma,
Yes,
Mr. George Bradlaugh.
Yes,
okay. Management of escrows. So I guess this is for Mike, because you're probably the only one who knows. There are two things in here which I suspect have nothing to do with the land use board, Aqua Strikers Road and Aqua, which are much in the arrears due to many bills from you.
Yeah, well, Aquas, let me look, I saw them as well, let me get to them, last 2 pages. Remember? Okay, Aqua Strikers Road was the water main extension basically from Route 57 to Strikers Road, Route 57 to 519 along Strikers Road. So that was. It's an escrow because they post monies to allow us to do our inspections. It's actually what we call what it is, it's a street opening permit. They file a street opening permit application. It's obviously has nothing to do with any land use board matter. There's a fee and an escrow posted depending on the size of the project, and that pays for our inspection services. Now, the other one,
But should they be notified that they're in arrears, or is the,
oh, absolutely. And I think they have been, to be honest with you, because I've been dealing with, obviously, with Shannon, and well, obviously,
well, they're,
you got Aqua and then you
12,
got the service
13,000.
line.
yeah,
Well, they also post money to allow for, to pay for the police and traffic control during these projects. There is a sizable amount of money in that account. That's from what I understand. That's not here, I don't think, it's probably not. They have granted permission for the township to take the money out of the police escrow and move it to this, because obviously there's no traffic control remaining to be done on the project, because they're done. So
all right, but this is a township issue, not a.
100% township issue, it is not a land use board matter.
Okay,
Other than, you should know that there is now a water line serving all of Strikers Road from Route 57 to Route 519.
otherwise I was gonna tell you, stop working on that. Mike. All right, and I didn't see anything else that was an issue here. Any other comments on the escrow accounts? Affordable housing,
I'm getting real close for the closing for the property to title to go to Ingerman. And that's, I think, scheduled for next week. And so shortly after that, probably going to see some construction. And on the other one, we're still moving along. Not as fast as I would like on the eminent domain stuff, but we'll see how that goes. That's my report.
okay. I thought Mike said they were gonna be digging this month.
Well, it's only November the 9th.
And there
And
are,
I think, to be honest with you,
Last month.
I think they will, well, you said.
and there are two very large ukes up there right now.
Yeah, no, I think,
They're planning.
can I clarify maybe my statement from last month that Mr. Chairman may have, uncharacteristically, manipulated a little bit? I fully expect them to be breaking ground this month. Now, again,
I agree with Mike.
yeah, I mean, it's a funny month because I don't think they go down to the league, but obviously you have Thanksgiving, so there's a few different days in this
Put it
month.
this way, once they own that property, they're gonna wanna go gangbusters.
All right,
Okay,
any other questions? Any other matters they'd like to bring up, or? If not, then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
We can do it, Joe. Yeah.
And Joe and Joe in opposite order.
If you can do it quick, Bruce, if you can do it quickly, you're gonna set a record.
We just did, oh no, you gotta vote.
Gotta vote.
All in favor?
Bye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, motion's adjourned.
Good night, John.
Good job,
Good night.
John.
Good night, John.
John, thank you for really